What I have to show you today is the SymProjects Pro-Race Micro, this little guy here. So a very tiny little shift light indicator. We have a row of RGB LEDs, and this is in a 3D printed enclosure. At the back is the socket, so that's micro USB. I do wish SymProjects upgrade their hardware to USB-C, but we are stuck with the older micro USB there. Couple of rubber feet there, and just look how tiny this little thing is. Now for reference, just for scale, this is the SymProjects Pro-Race 2. I have reviewed this a long time ago, probably a couple of years ago, and if you are interested in finding out a little bit more about this particular device, I will drop a link below in the description. So also we do have a USB cable, just some packing stuff and the invoice. So that's all I have there. The software that operates this device is the SymProjects SimDash software. However, you can also use Simhub, and any self-respecting sim racer will have Simhub installed. So I will show you both options. I'll show you their software, which is a free download, but for me, I will be using this with Simhub when I'm racing. So without further ado, let's check out the software. The dinky size of the Pro-Race Micro sits nicely on top of a wheelbase, but being light and small, the weight of the attached cable could easily topple it. So here's a simple idea: a piece of blue tack will hold it in place. I am already familiar with the SymProjects SimDash software, but this is my first go using it with the Pro-Race Micro. It's pretty simple stuff. You can adjust the LED brightness and how the LEDs are addressed by the telemetry, either linked to the exact RPM measure or percentage of RPM input. The color picker allows you to change the RPM gauge and also the shift light indicator colors. And this is what it looks like using the SimDash software. We get two RPM gauge options. This is symmetric, where the LEDs fill up inwards. Or this regular style, going from left to right. As an RPM gauge and shift light, it's all working just perfectly. If that's all you want from this device, then the Pro-Race Micro combined with SimDash is just fine. In a moment, we're going to move over to Simhub, and I would recommend you actually use Simhub instead of the SimDash software, as there are more advanced telemetry cues you can exploit with Simhub to address those LEDs beyond what SimDash is able to do. In Simhub, there are some steps that need to be taken to get this up and running. First being adding the device to be recognised. All you need to do is find it from the list. Next, we need to assign an effect, and you can see from this list there's a whole lot of options. I'm just going to add the RPM effect to get started with. Expanding the box, this opens up the configuration settings. The one setting you need to remember not to forget is the LED count. Make sure the number is 9, as that's the number of LEDs this device has, and everything else is largely adjustable to your personal preference. Lastly, one tip to add, particularly if this is your first experience with Simhub, head over to the car settings menu option, as there are further RPM light settings you may need to adjust to. And here we are, basically achieving the same result that the SymProjects software was doing, though we do get the option to have this color gradient effect. The SimDash software only runs solid colors. Plus with Simhub, it opens up a whole lot more possibilities. For example, flag warnings, low fuel, pit limiter, DRS available or active, turn indicators, car spotter, and so on. There are many ways you can expand the usefulness of this simple arrangement of lights. I've placed the Pro-Race Micro on top of the monitor. I've set it up as a shift light indicator and spotter. The LEDs are bright, so I still get a full sense of them working in the peripheral. I'm finding the spotter feature very helpful as it covers off the blind spot of using a single monitor. I have a solid indication when there's a car alongside and when it's clear. It works just great. The SymProjects Pro-Race Micro is a neat little gizmo. I quite like it, and a useful aid, particularly when paired with Simhub.